Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. In this video I'm going to show you how I made this. It's a little pizza style box which holds a Nivea lip butter. So this is the lip butter that's inside this box, and I used some petal pink cardstock for this and some Garden Impressions 6x6 DSP and the I think it's 5/8 of an inch Whisper White tulle ribbon, which is just lovely. So this is another one of my fond farewell videos where I'm saying goodbye to some of the products that we have. The stamp set is the A Good Day stamp set, which I've used quite a lot recently. I really like it and I'm sad to see it go, but I will be hanging on to it to use it myself. I just won't be using it in any more videos. The Garden Impressions designer series paper is a 6x6 pack. Here it is here, and again that is in the 2018-19 outgoing annual catalogue, and it is retiring. So if you do like these papers, and I'll just give you a quick look through, I would be quick and order them before they disappear, because we're into the last few weeks now of the annual catalogue and these are going to be going. So I'm going to make a few more projects using these as well. Really pretty papers. So this time round I'm going to use a different colour, and without any more chat I'm going to get on and show you how to make it. So you'll need a piece of cardstock which measures 6 inches by 3 1/4 inches, and a piece of designer series paper which measures 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 for the part on the top. And I'm using So Saffron this time round, and again another piece of DSP from the Garden Impressions pack. So in terms of scoring, you want to score this on the long side first of all at let me think, 1/2 inch and 2 3/4, 3 1/4 and 5 1/2, and then turn it round and score it at 1/2 inch and at 2 3/4, or you could score it at 1/2 inch on both sides, and that's all the scoring done. It does look a little bit wider on one side than it does on the other. Let's see how we go regardless. So fold and burnish on all your score lines, just making sure it's straight as you go. I'm hoping this video will go without a hitch. I'm filming a few videos back to back today, and the last two have had a few hitches in them, including a delivery man arriving early with my new hoover, so I've had to do the video in 2 parts. So let's hope that this all goes smoothly. So looking at your box, once you've done all your burnishing, you'll see that you've got 3 little squares on each side of this box, and we just want to cut up each of these score lines to that score line and just take a little wedge out of each, and you're going to do that on both sides. So again, what we're looking for is a nice straight edge on the longer flaps, because these are the ones that are going to be seen on the outside of your box, and these little flaps here are what's going to join your box together. Come out and just do exactly the same on both sides of the box. Cut up to the score line and cut out just little wedges on either side of the squares. They don't have to be exact, they are just going to join your box together. They're small and a bit fiddly, but it's not too bad. And this is a nice quick and easy project to make. It's nice if you've got somebody who's maybe got a cold and you want to give them a little present. So, add tear and tape onto each of these 6 flaps. Here's my trusty ruler. Near the score line but not on the score line. And oh, come on, ruler, you're sliding away. Just so that your box joins together. I did use Tombow or multi-purpose glue on my last box, but it was really fiddly and you have to sit and hold it until it dries. So instead of having you watching while I hold all these flaps together until the box dries, I'm just using tear and tape to stick it together. So that's my tape on all my flaps, and I'm just going to look before I actually stick it together and see which is going to be my lid and which is going to be I think I'll make this my lid. So what I want to get is my 1/2 inch circle punch and just punch out a little thumb notch on the front flap here on the lid. I'm just eyeballing it to make sure it's fairly equal. You can measure it if you want, and put it into just short of halfway and take out a little thumb notch. So I now know that that's going to be my lid, and grabbing my paper piercer, I'm just going to take the backing off of all these pieces of tear and tape. Come on, oh for goodness sake, and stick my box together. So when you stick the box together, this is overlapping a little bit, these 4 corners here are going to stick to this part to make the base, so we're just ignoring this, the rest of this for now. And what I want to do is fold this straight edge here over to meet this folded edge here and stick it together like that. And we just do that on all 4 corners. It is very small and it is a little bit fiddly. Straight edge to folded edge, and the last one for the base, the straight edge up to the folded edge, and that's the base put together. And then all we need to do then is exactly the same again to pop together the corners on the lid. Straight edge to, I can't see, straight edge to folded edge, and then that should all fit together nicely like that. Now with all pizza boxes you will get a little bit of, oh, I probably could have joined that corner a bit closer together, but never mind, you're not really going to notice it. You will get a little bit of sticky outiness, that is a technical term, on pizza boxes, and I'm just going to trim these little furry corners with my paper snips. You can do that if you get furry corners, but just make sure you don't cut too much off, because you're going to cut a hole in your box if you do. It probably would have made more sense to stick my designer series paper onto my lid before I put it together, but it's a small enough box, you're not really going to have much trouble putting it on once the box is stuck together. So I'll just add my DSP now. Oops. Don't go over onto your grid paper, but see if you do with your snail, just rub it and it will come off again. Now if you've got a directional paper, you want to make sure obviously that you're sticking it on with the direction going up and down on the top of your box from the front, if that makes sense, rather than putting it sideways. I don't suppose it would matter too much, but you want to make sure that you put it on the right way. I'm trying to concentrate and can't talk and concentrate at the same time. I'm not directly above the box, so I'm hoping that that's straight. Could have been straighter, but it's not too bad. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Now before I put my ribbon on, I'm going to use this lip butter blueberry blush, and it matches the blue in the DSP. So fits nicely into the box, and I'm going to close my lid over. And all I'm going to do now is add a piece of my Whisper White tulle polka dot ribbon and just bring round enough to tie a little bow, which I'm not great at anyway, and this ribbon is lovely to tie a bow with, but you can't pull it too tight because it does stretch, so you need to be very careful. So don't tie your knot too tightly, just enough to hold these little flaps down and stop them sticking out. It is quite a forgiving ribbon, so for somebody like me who isn't the best bow tire, it's quite easy to work with, but if you do get it tangled, then it's a bit more difficult to untangle it. So that's not too bad at all, and I'm not going to fiddle too much with it. I just want to make these loops a little bit smaller, but that's not too bad. I don't want to fiddle too much. I just want to pull the knot a bit tighter, but I don't want to stretch the ribbon either, so I just have to pull it like that. There we are. I'm not going to fiddle anymore with it. So I just need to trim this side a little bit, and that's my ribbon on. So we just need to do a little bit of stamping for the sentiment, and I've used a Good Day stamp set, and I'm using the Just For You, which I've already mounted onto a block. This stamp set I've used quite a few times, and you've seen it if you've watched a couple of my previous videos. I used it when I did my on-stage swaps, but I'm trying to get a lot of use out of it before it retires. It is going, but I'm going to keep this for my own use after it's gone because I can't part with it. So I only want the Just For You part in the middle, and this colour here is So Saffron, as I said. So if I bring in my So Saffron ink and a piece of white cardstock, Whisper White, ink up my stamp and stamp my Just For You. There we go. Close up my ink because I will put my hand in it. And using my 1-inch punch, I'm just going to punch out the Just For You, and you'll see that it just fits perfectly in the punch, and you get that border round it. Just put my hand over to stop it jumping away. I maybe could have punched that a little bit straighter, but it's not too bad. And then using a spare piece of So Saffron card, I then want to use my 1 1/8 inch scallop circle punch to punch out a piece of card to back that onto. Bring in my multi-purpose liquid glue, pop just a little bit on the back of there, you don't need a lot, and glue all over my thumb. Just pop that on, and it just gives you a nice little border round the Just For You, but you've also got that little border to break up that white cardstock a little bit. So once that's stuck, grab a dimensional and pop that on the back. And actually, before I do pop it onto my box, I'm going to grab my Share What You Love Artisan Pearls, and this colour here is So Saffron because that's one of the colours in the Share What You Love suite. Just pop one of those onto the side, take the backing off my dimensional and pop it just about there, and that's it. 2 little pizza boxes, each with a lip balm in for the next friend who needs one, and that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.